It is the day after Election Day, and there are major races in a few key states still too close to call. One of those states, Arizona. Democrat Mark Kelly leading Republican Blake Masters for the U.S. Senate despite fading in the polls in recent weeks. Meanwhile, Democrat Katie Hobbs holds an edge over firebrand Republican candidate Kari Lake in the governor's race. It's very tight there, though. We're joined by two Arizona voters, Republican Carolyn Breaux and Democrat Athena Peters. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so dozens of voting tabulation machines in Maricopa County. We heard news of this on Election Day, malfunctioning. The Republican chair of the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors, she actually told reporters that no one, quote, has been disenfranchised, end quote, by that glitch. Carolyn, when you first heard about this, did it make you nervous?
Yes, it did. I'm concerned that there could be more to it than we think, and it needs to be investigated.
Athena, what about you? What did you make of the voting machine issues in Maricopa County?
The voting machine issues are really just a continuation of the issues that are put in place and persisted in terms of lack of access to voting that stems from few voting polls, long lines. I myself was out until an hour and a half past voting last night because the Arizona State University polling location was open. We were waiting for the long line that was queuing up for about 2 hours beforehand. Wow. Yeah. So when you think about voter disenfranchisement, you have to think about also the systemic issues that are plaguing our voting system, not only just the temporary glitches and really kind of the issues that are consistent throughout entire elections constantly.
Well, the long lines, I don't know that that's disenfranchisement as long as you are in a place where you can stay cool. Arizona, I don't know how hot it is there, but for sure, I was in a long line myself, about an hour line for voting yesterday. It really proves that there's been so much participation, much more voter interest this time around. Were you surprised, Athena, by Mark Kelly's significant lead coming into this morning? Because at first he was kind of starting to trail again.
I was not. I think Mark Kelly is a candidate that really speaks to a lot of individuals here in Arizona, especially the younger generation, looking forward to the future in terms of climate protection, in terms of voter protection, in terms of autonomy for medical decisions in all areas of life. I think that he's someone and a candidate that is really speaking up for a younger generation, my generation, as well as older generations as well.
Carolyn, you say you voted for Kari Lake for governor because of her position on the border, which is something that a lot of Democrats, including Mark Kelly, have now spoken out about in terms of coming up with real solutions to the border. What are your concerns about what Katie Hobbs might do if she's governor with regards to border security?
I'm afraid that Katie Hobbs will just continue to ignore the border crisis. She'll ignore the over 4 million illegal aliens who have crossed. She will do nothing about the fentanyl crisis with 70,000 Americans dying. And I'm very concerned that the fentanyl looks like candy to attract children who are dying from fentanyl. There's all kinds of drug trafficking and sex trafficking, and this is just going to lead to more poverty and more crime, and Hobbs is doing nothing about it. I know Kari Lake would definitely increase the border security, finish the wall, and bring Arizona back to safety and bring the nation back to safety.
Well, there was expected to be a red wave. It's become more of a ripple, and we know that between these two women, Katie Hobbs, who worked as an advocate for homeless youth as a young person and then was elected to Secretary of State in 2018, then Kari Lake, who's had a 27-year television career, they both have very differing opinions about what needs to happen next for the state. And we'll be excited as much as you are for who wins this race, because they're still so close, neck and neck. Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.